welcome into the Alabama Football Report. I am Tom Downey, producer Chris, once again, by the way, behind the scenes. Today we're taking a look at some of the latest Alabama recruiting news and rumors and updates and everything else in between, of which there will be many as we get to that kind of weird, awkward, not actually football-related period between the spring transfer portal window closing and fall camp getting going. So far in the month of May, we've gained 90 subscribers. It's not terrible. It's not as good as it could be. In the end, those are rookie numbers, and we got to pump those numbers up. We will have watch parties all season long for you here on the Alabama Football Report once the games get going. Make sure you guys are subscribed. Let's look at where Alabama sits with Damien Shanklin. I think, again, I'm pronouncing the high school names. There's no pronunciation, guys, so if I do it wrong, I'm sorry. Bama made the top 4 for Shanklin, who originally had kind of been linked pretty heavily to Notre Dame. Sounds like that's not going to end up being the case since they are not among the upcoming official visits for him. First overall on Shanklin, obviously, like most of the guys we discussed, a 2025 4-star recruit. He's number 108 overall. He is the number 10th ranked edge rusher in this class and the number 1 player from the state of Indiana. So big-time notes that are significant of getting a top-ranked player from a state. Always a good thing. Almost always a good thing. Maybe Alaska doesn't have great recruits, but is a fringe top 100 player. Those guys are always valuable to try to add. The official visit list. You're going to see a lot of visits on the weekend of May 31st, on June 7th, June 14th, June 21st. A lot of recruiting stuff, right? LSU on May 31st, OSU, then Tennessee, then Alabama gets the final official visit there on June 21st. I will make note that was the composite rankings. He's as high as top 50 for some of the individual recruiting services there. So will Alabama, when we get to the end of this recruiting cycle, we get to the December and the February signing periods, unless that changes again, will Bama end up with a top 5 recruiting class for 2025? It's the pinned comment on today's video, so go vote if that ad comes here on YouTube. Y for yes, N for no. Another official visit here is 4-star, we'll call him the Wolf target, so it's that kind of edge role, which we'll use the designations, but just think pass rusher, right? Dawson Merritt will make his 3rd trip to Tuscaloosa, June 7th to 9th. That will be his first official visit, by the way. He previously had unofficial visits March 23rd and April 20th. So a lot of clear interest there for Merritt, who I will make note, by the way, his dad is the Chiefs defensive backs coach. So we got the old son of coach angled knocked off there. And Merritt at some point might get some NFL defensive coordinator love, by the way. Of note, sounds like Alabama and Nebraska are some of the top candidates there. Oklahoma's kind of in the mix, more on that in a little bit. He is a top 100 recruit. They've got him listed at linebacker, the 24/7 Sports composite. Again, the blending of Wolf and Bandit means I think all these linebacker recruits Bama has, some of them are really going to end up being in that pass rusher mold. Number 3 ranked player, by the way, from the state of Kansas. He plans on committing in late June. Alabama gets the visits from June 7th to 9th. Oklahoma gets them from June 21st to the 23rd. Of note, Brent Venables is a very well-regarded defensive coach. Seems significant that Oklahoma is in the mix there. That was his word for a little of a chance. Nebraska also a real candidate there, so we'll keep an eye on that. Obviously, Matt Rule also has ties to the NFL coaching world in a way that Kalen DeBoer doesn't quite have necessarily. This is hilarious to me. Running back Bo Jackson. No, not that one. There's a different one from Ohio. Alabama is in the mix for him, which I think it would be hilarious for Alabama to land Bo Jackson as a recruit. I don't care if this guy's a 2-star. I think he needs to end up at Alabama, if only for the troll angle. I think it's too funny. It is worth a scholarship, and I think even the NIL boost alone, it makes it worthwhile there. 3 teams in the hunt for the 4-star back. Georgia, which gets a visit in a couple of days, May 17th to the 19th. Ohio State, May 31st to June 2nd. And Alabama, June 7th to June 9th. Is he missing on a chance to do the Bo Jackson Auburn jersey thing? Maybe, but I think that's okay in the end. This is a very highly touted recruit, by the way. 71st overall. number 5 ranked running back and the number 4 recruit from the state of Ohio. His high school coach calling Georgia, OSU, Alabama, running back U, which I actually don't mind. All these schools have a pretty good track record of consistently churning out draft picks, especially in recent seasons. So, who is the real running back U of these 3 options, right? UGA for Georgia. I doubt many people are going to pick that if only on principle. OSU for Ohio State, or Bama for Alabama. Head down to the comments section. Let me know right now. More recruiting news and updates. Again, that was the whole purpose of today's show, right? 3-star defensive lineman London Simmons. Strong name alert again. Got a dude named London, which maybe works better on the other football, but I think this works just fine since he's a defensive lineman. We'll take an official visit to Alabama June 14th to the 16th. Different level of interest here that's reflected in the 3-star recruiting status for Simmons. NC State gets the first visit early in June, then Alabama, then Arkansas. There has been a pretty noteworthy trend of linebacker recruits, the front 7 recruits basically for the Crimson Tide. I don't mind targeting pretty heavily that area for Alabama. This one appears to be a lower level for now, but maybe Alabama's onto something. Now, the reason why I say that, you've heard me say the next part I'm about to say before, I freaking love high school stats. There is nothing funnier to me than, like, oftentimes it's kind of like, hey, it's a lower level guy playing, like he's the man amongst boys. It's like everyone walks off the bus and you go, that one's the SEC player. It's too obvious. They're just built different, quite literally. The high school stats for London Simmons are hysterical to me. 80 tackles, 25 tackles for loss, 15 sacks, 3 forced fumbles. That's just gold. And that's not sustainable at the collegiate level, obviously. Sometimes I wonder if these stats get a little bit juiced. But then again, think about most high schools that aren't the IMG academies, right? Over the course of a season, they'll play a handful of D1 players. So when you have the D1 guy, they normally tend to dominate in pretty funny fashion. I think that's what happened there with Simmons and Alabama. We will have plenty more recruiting news and updates and rumors and commitments and decommitments and maybe some more transfer stuff as well. We've got you covered. I know it's kind of a dead period around Alabama football. We will still have videos for you. Hit that sub button right now, youtube.com/@RollTideTV.